Hey y'all, so I'm back with part two here on extending our hog lot, making our second run. I ended up making a liar out of myself because after we got everything done last night, my wife wanted a date night, which we needed, so I gave it to her, and we ended up going to town. I got the rest of the insulators for the fence, and I picked up a new gate. They had them on sale. That one had a couple small dents in it, and I got a little bit cheaper than I normally would, so I got the gate for just a little bit over $100. But what I went with for this is a 10-foot gate. So by the time I get both my posts in, I'll have just a little bit over a 10-foot opening across here, which will be plenty for me to get the tractor through if I need to. So what I'm going to do, try to get where y'all can see everything here. I'm going to put my post right here at the top side of this gate, and I'm going to have the gate open on the upper side. That way, as the pigs root, they won't push all the dirt up against the gate where I can't close it back. So they're going to root everything downhill. Hopefully they don't tear up this spot too bad and they'll go on out through the woods. But I'm going to go ahead and set my post here. We'll get our gate anchors and hinge pins screwed in. And then once I have my gate up, I'll be able to take down this section of fence. I'm going to leave that T-post and I'm going to cut it off right there, pull those two out over here, and just have the gate where I can tie it off to that post to secure it closed. But I'm going to get my post hole diggers. Now I've got an auger to go on the tractor, but I'm digging one, maybe two posts here. I don't feel like hooking it up for that. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way and do it by hand. I'm going to get them started. We're going to dig a hole and set a post. Oh, it's hard to tell on video exactly how steep this hill is, so it's hard for me to find a spot to put the tripod that it'll stand up and not fall over. So I'm 6'1", and I've got my tripod sitting about 4 foot, and right now the camera's about a foot above my head, sitting up there at the top of the hill. And hopefully I don't get on no big rock or no big roots here. Six inches down, already hitting rocks. It don't take too long to do it this way. I'm already a foot down, about a minute or so. It would take me longer to hook up the auger on the tractor. So it didn't take but just a few minutes, and we got our hole down about 3 feet. I've got an 8-foot post I'm going to use for the hinge post. I'm not going to cement it in. I'm going to tamp it. It's always worked fine. You tamp it right and it'll be solid as an oak tree. But what I've got for a tamper, this is a piece of 1 inch round bar I cut off and welded to a handle I made. Forged me a handle with a little hook on it so my hand can stay up. So all I'm gonna do, well, my other one is like a mobile home anchor. I cut off the screw end and use this fat end to tamp it. Both these are full metal, so they're heavy. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the post, get it leveled, and I'll start working a little bit of dirt in at a time and pack it as I go. And you pack it from the bottom all the way up. We'll try to get all this dirt back in the hole and pack it in tight, and it'll be nice and solid and won't go nowhere. And one thing I did forget to bring down here was my level. So I might have to go get my level. I ain't gonna eyeball on it, be crooked. Oh, when I started, it was in the shade. Well, the sun's hitting down here now. It's getting hot. It's supposed to be about, I think about 87 today. And if you notice, I ain't got no help. I give them a day off because it is Easter Sunday. I ain't gonna make the youngins work. I'll let them play today. If it'll work, once I get it sitting level here, I'm gonna take a piece of wire and tie it off to this T-post. To help hold it in place. While I tamp the dirt in. So we're pretty level right there. If I can keep from moving it. So my post is a little crooked too, where it's been sitting out. I've had this one for a while, so. Give that a good twist so it'll hold it tight. You check it here. All right, so like I said, to tamp it in, we're just gonna kick in a little bit of dirt at a time. And take a rod, and pack it back down in the hole. This part right here where you at. Once we get this first little bit packed in good, we'll kick us in another layer and pack it. We'll keep going till we try to get all the dirt back in the hole that come out of it. And y'all get to hear me huffing and puffing through this microphone. Don't pay no attention to it. So now we've got our post in and packed and pretty much all the dirt back in the hole. Like I said, you do it right, that thing's solid. It ain't moving. So now I'm gonna slide my gate up here. Now the bottom hinge on this thing is solid and the top one is adjustable. So I'm gonna slide it up here and get it where I think it needs to be and mark the hole for my hinge pin. And I'm gonna pre-drill it where it's easier to screw in and I don't split the post. So we'll get it up here close to the gate, or close to the gates, close to the post. And I'm gonna put these pins at a 45 to the fence. That way when I open it, I can go a little bit past 90 degrees if I need to, and it'll give me just a couple inch more clearance on the other side when I set my other post. So like I said, once I get it marked, I'm going to pre-drill my hole. It's a little bit smaller than the pin, or the threads on the pin. And all these pins, some of them's, a lot of them's different sizes. So you just have to measure your pin to what bit you'll need to pre-drill it. I'm gonna get back behind the camera so I know y'all can see this. I have got lazy today because I don't feel like fighting these stupid things. If you've ever put these in a post, you know they can be aggravating to twist them in, especially if you're down here at the ground. So the perks of being a mechanic. I have took one of my old sockets. I have plenty of extras, and this is nothing special. It's just old Chinese socket. But I cut a notch. I picked one that fit the size of this, pretty close. And I cut me a notch in it. And I took a carbide burr and cleaned out the edges on the inside and at the back so it would slide in there fully. And I'm going to use my drill to run this in, because I don't feel like doing it by hand. So like I said, I got it to where it'll just slide over there. Turn it where I can get my drill square here. And we're going to see how this works, because I just made this thing, so. Get my drill in the right mode here. If I can hold it. All right, now, old drill's kind of letting me down. Might have to go get a ratchet to do it. Well, I'm gonna have to go get another tool. I'll be back and we'll finish driving this thing in here. So now we got a different tool. We're gonna try this again. Kind of let down by my drill. All right, so now we got that one in. We got to measure for our top one. So now what I'm gonna do, and I'll bring it in closer when I get ready to do the rest of this, but I'm gonna have my wife pick up that end till we're pretty, a little bit more, we're pretty close to level. And I'm just gonna eyeball here because this hinge slides up and down, so I don't have to be perfect on my positioning. But I'm gonna make me a mark for my height, and then I'm gonna take a plumb and make a mark for my side to side. So if you don't know what a plumb is, it's just a weight on a string that won't stop spinning for some reason. Must be all twisted up. But all I'm gonna do is line it up with my bottom pin. If the doggone thing will quit turning, where it'll sit still. Let's say I'm gonna line it up on my bottom one, and I'm gonna make my vertical mark there. That way both my pins are in line. Once I get it marked, same thing, I'm gonna pre-drill it. We're going to take our special socket, and keep it straight here. We'll put the bottom pin facing up and the top pin facing down. So once we hang it and I get this hinge on this pin, it can't fall off. You can't, I mean, if I put them both facing up, or I could just set it on there and the pig stick her nose up under it and they'll push the gate right off, and then they're out in the garden tearing everything up. So there's our post planted, there's our hinge pins in. Now all we got to do is hang the gate. So now we got everything in, we're going to pick the gate up, set it on our bottom pin, pick it up just a little. So I've loosened this bolt, so we slide it up into place. Oh crap. And we're going to lock it down there. And I may have tightened that a little bit too much because it kind of crushed that pipe. Right, so now our gate is hung. Now that we've got our gate hung, you can see the slope on this hill. And my gate is pretty close to level. So over 2 foot, like I said, I'm 6 foot tall and this is a 50-inch gate, and it's above my head at the top and it's above my knee at the bottom. So I'm gonna have to do some adjusting to try to match this grade here just a little bit. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'll back out the top pin and I'll tighten up the bottom pin. That way it'll match the slope just a little bit, because I need it to be closer to the ground when I've got it closed to keep them in. But it'll be better, or it'll be okay on this top side up here when I've got it open for them to go out down through the woods. The slope ain't quite as bad across, but it does slope some. I've got about 8-10 inches over here. But what I'm going to do now that I've got the gate hung, I can measure where I'm going to put my post to tie it when it's open. I'm going to stick in another wood post on this side. And once I get my post in and I get all this other down, when I'm ready to turn them out, I will run a hot wire about 1 foot inside of this gate to keep them away from the gate and the post and rooting up against it. So the gate's here as a big barrier, but the hot wire will still be there to keep them inside so they don't go to messing with the gate. So I've done about all the adjusting I can do to it that I'm comfortable with. I run the bottom pin in 5 more turns, and I run the top pin out 5 turns, and that's about as far out as I want to come with it, so it's still solid. I could run it out a little bit more, but I don't want that pin to end up pulling out of the wood. But it's helped us a good bit. But looking at it, I think what I'm going to do, instead of taking this entire section of fence down, I'm going to take it down from this T-post right here to the wood post. And that gives them 6-7 foot of clearance for them to come out. Like I said, once I take it down and I open this gate, I'm going to run the hot wire out, tie back into this one and across, and the gate will have them on the top side, and I'll put another wood post in to tie the gate to when I open it, and I'll run the hot wire around that and around the inside of the gate. And the way I'll do it, which I'll do a video on it, but the way I'll do it, I'll just get a spring handle to tie on into the wire where I can pull it over here and hook it and unhook it and pull it out of the way when I'm not using this side of the fence, and that way I won't be running power on this side when it's not in use. But that's it for this one. Like I said, it is Easter Sunday. That's about all I'm going to do today. Is, you know, we've hung the gate, got the post planted, got the gate hung on it, and we got to go start cooking ham and green beans and all that good stuff. So thank y'all for watching. Hope I learned you something. Like I said, I'm not perfect at all this stuff. It's just the way I do it, and I've been doing it all my life, but it works for me. So thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good one. Happy Easter.